Oh, almost, Janet. It's
Almost.
the learning barge. So we are still on land, unfortunately. Sorry. Yeah, no, we're still on grass. Can confirm. No, but this is the Elizabeth River Project Learning Barge. So basically, for those not familiar, the Elizabeth River Project is a nonprofit here locally in the Tidewater area. They have a headquarters in Norfolk, and their mission for a couple decades has essentially been cleaning the Elizabeth River, which is where Harbor Fit sits on to begin with, right? And so their mission has basically just been trying to clean up a very, what was once a very polluted urban waterway. And so I have Summer Mace here, and we have some friends alongside us, and let's go through the gambit of the friends that are joining us here today.
Yes.
So who do we've got? Let's work.
We have a lot. So these are all native animals to the Elizabeth River, just to show everyone the biodiversity that we now have. So over here we do have 2 hermit crabs and 2 whelks, or marine gastropods. You
Can I
see
put my
him.
hand in?
Of course you can. Anything
Will
with
it
an
bite
open will not bite. Anything with an open tank you are free to touch.
Can you prepare me for the texture that my hand may?
Slimy.
Okay.
Maybe a little
this it?
smooth.
Is
Yep,
this
that's it.
Is this
So
okay? Is
that's,
he okay with this?
He loves that.
Okay. Okay.
So he's a smooth whelk.
Okay.
Smooth shell. And then over here is our knobbed whelk. He has knobs, both
Okay.
native to the Elizabeth River. And then as you can see,
Can I pick him up? I feel really.
you can try. He might be pretty secured to the bottom.
Oh, he is. He's stuck on there.
He's
he
a big
doesn't
boy.
like that. Okay.
And then those are hermit crabs, so they
Okay.
also made a home in, I guess, vacant whelk
Okay.
shells.
This one's a little scary. Okay, so I'm gonna put him back. He doesn't like me turning his home over.
And
okay.
then-
hermit crabs and so
Whelks.
whelks. Okay.
Yes.
Next.
This guy is an oyster toadfish. He looks like a toad and he eats oysters. How he got his name. We do have a lid on him. I don't want you to touch him because he has a very powerful jaw. He can crack open oysters with his jaw. And he also has a venomous spine. So,
all a recipe for not putting my hand
a
inside
recipe for
the-
disaster, yes.
Okay, sure.
And then over here, we have a mummichog, also known as mud minnows. These are really...
I can put my hand in here?
You can put your hand in here.
Okay.
If you have like Cheeto dust on your fingertips, they might nibble.
Okay, let's see. I did have a turkey sandwich a couple minutes ago, so I don't know if they're carnivorous in that sense, but...
They're opportunistic feeders, so they will eat anything.
Okay.
They're very important to our river. They are
Oh.
an indicator species. You know what an indicator species is?
I believe so. It's if I'm not mistaken, it is basically a species that would indicate the overall health of an ecosystem, a river system, because the more of these you have,
Yeah.
the healthier and more biodiverse that ecosystem would be. Correct? Is that sort of the?
Yeah. Do you want a job here?
No, I think
I
I'm.
think you pretty much
At the moment.
hit the nail on the
I
head.
haven't embarrassed myself yet at
Yeah.
the station, so I guess I'll keep my job at the moment. But
in the past, there's been some toxic hotspots on the Elizabeth River, and in those hotspots, these fish had cancerous legions. So they are an indicator species because if they're not doing well, if they have cancer, that's a good indication that the river is not doing well. But now in those hotspots, they're down to trace levels. So all of our efforts we've done for the past 30 years to clean up the river and the harbor have been working. So yeah.
okay,
That's our
now
mummichog.
on the right side, I'll have my photographer Michael Woodward see if he can spin around here. We've got some other friends here. These ones are a little scarier for those
How
that.
about we start this way?
Okay, we'll work our way up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are our periwinkle snails. These live on grasses on the shoreline of the river. Kids love these because they get to actually hold them when they come out on field trips on the learning barge.
Okay. This guy.
This guy, can you guess?
I get this is a crab.
Yeah.
Correct? This
Okay,
next
let's
guy
look
is
at the color.
Okay. So,
What kind of crab?
is it a blue crab by any chance? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
a male blue crab. We're all familiar with blue crabs here. They are huge. They do a lot for our ecosystem and our economy. Really big in the Chesapeake Bay, our crab population. So we have a lid on him as well.
What is the latest on sort of the crab population here for the Chesapeake Bay? I know that obviously,
I've heard that it's declining.
Okay.
In the last winter survey, they aren't doing as well. That's about all I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we move over from the blue crabs to even more crazy
These
looking.
spider crabs. So
Oh, you're touching it. You're just going.
Can you
for
guess
it.
why it's called a spider? I mean, a crab.
Well, okay.
A spider crab.
Because it doesn't look like it's.
It's
Are
also
there
a
more
spider.
legs on this one than there's supposed to be?
So
or-
it has 8 legs and the 2
Sorry. Okay. No, go ahead.
claws. So they look scary, but they actually are very non-aggressive, bad eyesight, and slow moving, so perfect for education. They
Okay.
actually have little sensing
Okay.
sensing organs on the tips of their legs to help them find food at the bottom of the river.
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Can I get over a fear? Let's
Yeah.
see. Let's just.
Do you want to hold it?
Okay, sure.
Do you want to hold a littler one?
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
better. Yeah. Okay, that one was like the big. That was the big mama of the.
That's about as big as they get. They'll get about a foot long with their legs extended.
Look, I'm doing it, Janet. I'm doing it. Okay.
Do you want me to take it?
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
All right.
Seriously?
That was a lot.
Alex,
That was a lot.
come on.
And then we can end. We have just some things that grow on anything that doesn't move in the water. So we have some sponges, oysters, mussels, sea squirts, barnacles.
Okay, and that's the friend group we have here.
That's everything.
Janet, do we have any questions for the wonderful folks at the Elizabeth River Project?
Alex, I'm just a little concerned about you. I mean, you're a little. your screams concern me. You're okay. It's going to be.
I don't
all right.
like. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay. I just don't like. What's the phrase for you don't like like
Textures.
tentacly kind of textures, right? Things that are. Like that doesn't look natural. I know that that's very rude to say because it's nature,
It is.
right? But it doesn't look. It doesn't look like that should be, a part of nature. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude to him or whatever. But oh, there he goes. There he goes. I'm sure he's beautiful. Many people find it beautiful in their own way, and they serve an important function, as Summer was saying, in the larger ecosystem. It doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't replace the fact that it is creepy to look at and touch. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But I was wondering because that the barge they've had, I think, over the years, like more than 100,000 students, all the way from kindergarten all the way up to college, coming on and actually being able
Yes.
to learn about several different things. Can she talk a little bit more about what the kids and the students are able to learn about?
Yeah, so the question I'm getting from my colleague Janet is that this is sort of an adaptation of the learning barge. There's a more traditional actual barge, correct? Mm-hmm. And so I'm curious where, the function that barge has served over time, and maybe why you found that this kind of setup was good for this setup here at Harbor Fest, and just overall the education that you've seen develop over the last couple of years, especially moving into the new headquarters over on Colley Avenue.
Yeah, so we do have our Dominion Energy Learning Barge, which is a barge in the water over off the eastern branch of the Elizabeth River, about 10 minutes from here. And so we've seen over 100,000 students, K through 12, in the last 16 years that the Learning Barge has been afloat. The Learning Barge on wheels came to be once COVID hit and schools could no longer come out on the Learning Barge. We were able to actually bring the Learning Barge to the schools and do very COVID-safe activities with schools in their parking lot. So we would bring this whole setup to the schools, and this just really works as a good outreach. Has lots of storage in there that we're able to bring all these animals to different places. Yeah.
So 100, I think the short answer, Janet, is about 100,000 students.
Just on the barge.
Just on the barge alone, which is, didn't really have anything like that growing up in Connecticut in terms of like a field trip. So
Yeah.
that's wonderful. And, again, as much as I could speak to them, part of, from what I've come to learn about the Elizabeth River Project, a part of just their mission to just kind of educate kids and adults even about just the biodiversity, the ecosystem that we all live around, and that make festivals like Harbor Fest even possible, right? So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great time to celebrate the
Yeah.
river.
Yeah, just excellent. A lot of
anything else,
great-
Janet?
I said a lot of, great education. I think they learned about wetlands and wildlife restoration and sea level rise. So that's the one good thing about Harbor Fest, because there's so much fun out there, but the educational component that's built into Harbor Fest that makes it even more worthwhile.
Right.
All right, and keep the spider crabs away
Yeah, if you
from
called the
Alex.
spiders Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But you know, there's a first time for everything, right? So that's okay. I did it. I can tell my parents I did it. I can tell people I did it.
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
if it'll
so.
make you feel any better, I once, doing television, held a Madagascar hissing cockroach on myself. If I can do that, you can do the spider crab.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know, we're not all Janet Roach, okay, Janet? All right, so I'm only Alex Littlehales, so.
Oh, come on. All right, Alex, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. All right, we're going back to Craig, and who knows what he has going on. Let me see. Craig, oh.